drew tomorrow on the back of old notebooks, with streets I hadn't walked and names I hadn't known. Every door was open in the version of myself that never had to learn how far a heart can roam. I thought I'd recognize the man inside the mirror when all the years arrived and settled in his face. But time had other habits, quiet as a thief. It moved the furniture and left me in a different place. Nobody tells you how the map keeps changing while you're still trying to follow the lines. This isn't the life I thought I'd have. Not the skyline, not the road, not the photograph. Some dreams faded softly, some broken half. This isn't the life I thought I'd have. But here I am beneath the sky that never asked who I was supposed to be before the years went past. Holding every version of me I couldn't save inside the light I never thought I'd have. The friends I swore would stay became old conversations, scattered through the cities of a younger state of mind. And love was never written like the stories promised. It arrived in fragments and left pieces behind. I spent so many seasons waiting for a moment that looked the way success was supposed to look. Then one day I was older than the age I'd always pictured, still searching through the pages of an unfinished book. Nobody tells you how the answers disappear. Just when you finally learn the questions by heart. This isn't the life I thought I'd have. Not the skyline, not the road, not the photograph. Some dreams faded softly, some broken half. This isn't the life I thought I'd have. But here I am beneath the sky that never asked who I was supposed to be before the years went past. Holding every version of me I couldn't save inside the life I never thought I'd have. Maybe growing up is not becoming the person that you planned. Maybe it's learning how to carry what never fit inside your hands. The losses and the victories, the strangers we become, the weight of every goodbye, and all the places we came from. This isn't the life I thought I'd have. And maybe that's the part I couldn't understand. The world kept turning even when I made no plans, and somehow led me here. This isn't the life I thought I'd have. But every scar and every detour in my path became the proof that I was more than what I lacked. is gone at last. And this is the life I have. And this is the life I have. There's a box in the back of a closet filled with names I used to call my future. Ticket stubs to places I never reached, maps that ended where the roads grew fewer. I remember how certain I sounded when I spoke about the years ahead, like the world was a promise already written and not a story being written instead. I carry those visions through storms and seasons, through every wrong turn I never planned. But somewhere between surviving and becoming, they slip like water through my hands. Nobody notices the moment a dream starts fading. It doesn't slam the door on its way out. Some dreams leave before we do. They pack their bags in the middle of the night, without a goodbye, without a warning sign, just a little less color in the light. Some dreams leave before we do, and we spend years standing in their empty room, learning how to live with the silence they left behind, while the heart keeps making room. While the heart keeps making room. I knew a man who wanted to be a painter. Now he spends days beneath fluorescent skies. And a woman who swore she'd cross every ocean, still tracing horizons through tired eyes. Maybe we're all carrying versions of ourselves that never got the chance to grow old. Ghosts of futures we once believed in, walking beside us through the cold. And sometimes I wonder who I'd be now, if every door had opened when I knocked. But life isn't built from all the roads we wanted, it's built from the roads we walked. Nobody tells you grief can arrive for something that never happened at all. Pack their bags in the middle of the night, without a goodbye, without a warning sign, just a little less color in the light. Some dreams leave before we do, and we spend years standing in their empty room, learning how to live with the silence they left behind, while the heart keeps making room. Keeps turning, and still we keep planting. Some dreams leave before we do, but they leave traces in the lives we made, in the strength we found when the picture changed and the plans began to fade. Some dreams leave before we do, yet every loss becomes a thread somehow, woven through the person standing here today, into the shape of who we are now. And though I still miss the worlds that never came true, I finally understand Some dreams leave before we do, so other dreams can find a place to bloom. I thought the world would knock before it entered. The change will make a sound I couldn't miss. A warning light, a crack across the ceiling, something louder than the silence of this. But mornings came like pages turning slowly, the same old streets, the same familiar view. And while I stared ahead at some imagined future, the present slipped away without a clue. I was saving all my courage for tomorrow, like it was waiting just beyond the door. Everything changed while I was waiting. Whole seasons disappeared between my hands. I kept looking for a signal in the distance, while life was drawing new and different plans. The people changed, the dreams changed, even the mirror learned another face. Everything changed while I was waiting, and I never saw it happening. Never saw it happening. The friends I swore I'd call became old numbers, buried underneath the weight of passing years. The promises I made to my younger self slowly drowned beneath routine and fear. I thought I'd know the moment I was older, some clear dividing line I couldn't cross. But growing up arrived in quiet fragments, hidden inside ordinary loss. I was measuring my life against a future that kept moving every time I got close. Everything changed while I was waiting. Whole seasons disappeared between my hands. I kept looking for a signal in the distance, while life was drawing new and different plans. The people changed, the dreams changed, even the mirror learned another face. Everything changed while I was waiting, and I never saw it happening. Maybe nothing leaves all at once. Maybe that's the hardest part. The house still stands, the streets remain, but somehow they're not ours. Maybe time is not a river. Maybe it's a room that slowly rearranges, until one day you wake up and realize you're living among the changes. Everything changed while I was waiting. The years moved quietly beneath the noise. I was searching for the perfect moment, while life was happening without a choice. The people changed, the dreams changed, the wounds became the wisdom that remains. Everything changed while I was waiting, but maybe I was changing too. And now I stand inside the life I never noticed, built from 1,000 moments passing through. Everything changed while I was waiting, and somehow I did too. kitchen still remembers every argument, and fingerprints beneath the peeling paint. The chairs haven't moved since last December, but somehow nothing sits the way it did. A jacket hangs behind the same old doorway, holding the shape of someone I once knew. Like the house kept copies of our former lives long after we outgrew the rooms. I thought the years would arrive like trains at stations, announcing every stop before they came. Instead they slipped between unfinished sentences, changing everything without changing its name. We counted birthdays, we counted paychecks, we counted all the obvious things, while time was busy counting us. We were never ready for time, not for the way it edits every photograph, leaving only certain faces in focus, and letting the rest dissolve into the glass. We were never ready for time, not for the speed hidden inside ordinary days. One moment we're borrowing tomorrow, the next we're staring at where it went. The boy who wanted oceans learned spreadsheets. The girl who swore she'd leave stayed near her street, not because they failed, but because life writes in pencil and keeps revising while we're asleep. I watched old friends become holiday messages, names appearing once a year like distant stars, not gone enough to call them strangers, not close enough to know who they are. And somewhere all our younger selves are waiting inside ambitions that no longer fit, like clothes forgotten in the back of closets, still carrying the outline of our ribs. Nobody warned us that survival itself would quietly become the reason some dreams disappear. We were never ready for time, not for the way it trades certainty for scars, turning maps into memories and destinations into where we are. We were never ready for time, not for the cost of learning what matters most, how every hello contains a future goodbye, and every arrival carries a ghost. The strange thing is time never looked cruel. It came disguised as routines, coffee cooling beside a laptop, street lights turning on, receipts in jacket pockets, songs we stopped noticing, until one day the background became the story, and the years had already crossed the room without making a sound. We were never ready for time, yet somehow it carried us anyway, through abandoned versions of ourselves, to promises that couldn't stay. We were never ready for time, but maybe no one has ever been. Maybe being human is watching the river move while trying to memorize the water, and maybe the miracle is never keeping it. Maybe the miracle was getting to stand in it at all. The clocks were never the problem, we had more of them than we did. There's a neighborhood inside my memory where everybody still lives. The laughter still leaks through summer windows. The streetlights still hum above our bikes. Nobody has moved away. Nobody stopped calling. Nobody became a stranger to the life we thought would last. But memory is a terrible architect. It keeps rebuilding houses that no longer exist. I still know the sound of their voices more clearly than last week's conversations. Isn't that strange? The people we couldn't keep didn't always leave with slam doors and final words. Some disappeared gradually, like color lifting from an old photograph. The people we couldn't keep became cities we no longer visit, songs we forgot we knew, a language we once spoke fluently and now only understand in fragments. One friend became a profile picture frozen somewhere between ambition and exhaustion. Another became a birthday notification, arriving once a year like a postcard from another planet. Some left because life demanded it, some left because staying hurt too much. Some simply drifted, following invisible currents neither of us could see. At the time I used to think losing people required an event, a betrayal, a goodbye, a reason large enough to point at. But often it's just two lives growing directions that never meet again. No one tells you how many endings arrive without anyone noticing their endings. The people we couldn't keep are scattered through the years like loose change, hidden in old messages, expired phone numbers, and stories nobody tells anymore. The people we couldn't keep still occupy small corners of who we are, because every person who stays long enough leaves fingerprints on the architecture of the soul. Sometimes I wonder if we're living inside someone else's memory now, appearing unexpectedly in a quiet moment while they wash dishes or wait at a traffic light. Maybe we've become one of the people they couldn't keep. Maybe that's how it works. Nobody belongs forever, but nobody disappears completely either. The people we couldn't keep were never possessions, never promises, never ours to hold indefinitely. were seasons passing through, teaching us different versions of ourselves before continuing on. The people we couldn't keep still walk beside us in invisible ways, in habits we borrowed, in words we repeat, in dreams we inherited from conversations long gone. And maybe growing older is learning that love was never measured by who stayed, but by who mattered, even after they didn't. The grocery store where my father bought newspapers is a pharmacy now. The apartment where we spent entire summers as strangers, watering flowers on the balcony. The cafe that held 1,000 unfinished conversations serves different faces. The city kept replacing its own reflection till even the map started feeling unfamiliar in my hands. I walked past a window last week and caught myself looking for a version of life that moved away years ago. Nobody tells you how much of growing older is becoming a visitor in places you once belonged. Nothing stayed except the memories. The rooms changed names, the roads changed direction, the people changed priorities. Everything kept rewriting itself without asking permission. Nothing stayed except the memories, and even they arrive incomplete, like photographs rescued from a flood, missing pieces, but still carrying the weight of what was there. The songs we played until they became part of the wallpaper now sound like messages from another century. Certain jokes survive long after the friendships that created them. Certain smells unlock entire decades without warning. A trace of rain on warm concrete, an old book opened after years, the scent of detergent from a childhood home. And suddenly time folds in half for a second. Everything is still alive again, then it's gone before you can reach it. Maybe memory is in a museum, maybe it's a storm collecting fragments and carrying them wherever it wants. Nothing stayed except the memories, not the certainty, not the plans, not the faces gathered around the table. The world kept rearranging the furniture while we were busy becoming ourselves. Nothing stayed except the memories, and they don't ask whether we're ready. They arrive at red lights, empty train stations, quiet Sunday afternoons, and sit beside us for a while. I used to think permanence was the goal, a house that never changed, people who never left, a future that followed the script. But permanence was never the promise, movement was. The tide doesn't apologize for leaving, the seasons don't explain themselves, and neither does life, it just keeps going. Nothing stayed except the memories, yet somehow they were enough to build invisible maybe staying was never the point. Maybe the miracle was that any of it happened at all. I found an old password scribbled in a notebook from a website that probably doesn't exist anymore. And for a second I remembered the person who wrote it, the one who believed every blank page was secretly a doorway, the one who bought train tickets before knowing where he'd sleep, who confused uncertainty with freedom and somehow made it work. Back when the future felt less like a calculation and more like weather rolling in from somewhere beautiful. It's strange how you can outgrow a person and still miss them every day. I miss who I was back then, not because life was easier, not because everything made sense, but because wonder arrived without an invitation, because hope didn't require evidence, because I could stand at the edge of an unknown road and feel excitement instead of a list of consequences. I miss who I was back then, the version of me that hadn't learned how heavy the world could be yet. The years kept adding rooms to my mind, filling them with thin voices, missed calls, medical forms, conversations that changed everything, and names I don't say out loud anymore. Somewhere along the way I became reliable, responsible, predictable words people offer as compliments without realizing they're sometimes describing a cage I built myself, one practical decision at a time. Nobody notices the exact moment when caution becomes instinct and instinct becomes identity. I miss who I was back then, the amateur astronomer of impossible futures, the collector of ridiculous ambitions, the architect of plans too large for reality to contain. I miss who I was back then. Before every dream needed a budget, before every risk needed permission, before experience started interrupting imagination mid-sentence. But memory is a selective witness. It edits out the panic, the loneliness, the mistakes repeated with confidence, the nights spent pretending certainty while quietly falling apart. Maybe I don't miss the past, maybe I miss the perspective, the ability to believe that becoming was endless, that life was still introducing itself instead of explaining itself. I miss who I was back then, but maybe he's not entirely gone. Maybe he survives in every impulsive idea I almost dismiss, in every unfamiliar road I still choose, in every stubborn piece of hope that refuses to was believing one of us had to disappear. The person I used to be isn't waiting behind me. He's walking beside me in a voice I almost forgot how to hear. The adults I trusted looked so certain, like they carried blueprints folded in their pockets, like somewhere between 18 and 40 the fog would finally lift, and every question would report to its proper place. Now I'm standing where they once stood, reading instruction manuals for things that matter, finding entire chapters missing, realizing confidence and understanding were never the same thing to begin with. I thought age would arrive carrying explanations. Instead it brought reading glasses and better questions. The horizon keeps moving every time I get close enough to call it mine. I'm growing older without an answer, collecting years the way a shoreline collects driftwood, fragments from storms, pieces of places I've never seen, trying to build meaning from whatever washes ashore. I'm growing older without an answer. The map keeps expanding faster than my conclusions, and every door I open introduces 10 more hallways I never knew were there. I never knew were there. The man at the train station reading philosophy looks just as lost as the teenager beside him. The woman who raised 3 children still wonders who she might have been if she'd taken another road. The millionaire buys books about happiness. The poet forgets why he started writing. The priest wakes up some mornings and negotiates with doubt. We all carry unanswered letters addressed to ourselves, waiting for a reply that never arrives on schedule. Nobody graduates from uncertainty. We just become more articulate about it. I'm growing older without an answer, watching certainty shed its skin year after year. Every belief becoming softer at the edges, every conclusion leaving room for another possibility. I'm growing older without an answer, and maybe the absence itself has been teaching me something that certainty never could. A tree doesn't spend its life trying to solve the forest. The ocean doesn't apologize for not understanding the moon. Maybe existence was never an exam. Maybe it's a conversation too large for any single voice to finish. Maybe wisdom isn't finding the answer. Maybe it's learning which questions deserve a lifetime. I'm growing older without interested in being solved, more interested in being explored. I'm growing older without an answer, yet somehow the mystery feels lighter now, like carrying a lantern. Instead of searching for a sun, I can finally admit I don't know why we're here, why some people leave too soon, why love survives certain winters and disappears in others. But I'm no longer waiting for certainty to begin living. The years didn't give me an answer, they gave me something stranger, the ability to keep walking without one. I found a receipt inside an old hardcover, dated from a winter I barely remember. $3 for coffee, a bookstore long demolished, and somehow it weighed more than the pages around it. Funny how entire decades survive in objects too small to defend themselves. A movie ticket, a forgotten key, a phone number with one missing digit, tiny fossils from lives we no longer inhabit. I used to think the years would leave footprints, something obvious, something I could point to and say, there, that's where everything changed. But the years never said goodbye, they slipped out through ordinary afternoons, hidden inside routines, disguised as Tuesdays, disguised as errands, disguised as moments too small to recognize as endings. The years never said goodbye. One day the songs belong to us, the next day belong to memory. Nobody announced the transfer. The barber who cut my hair as a teenager retired without me noticing. The neighbor who waved every morning exists now only in secondhand stories. The park where we spent entire summers is newer benches, safer playgrounds, different children inventing different futures in the same patch of sunlight. The world rarely disappears dramatically, most things simply continue without us, and somehow that's harder to understand, because loss would be easier if it looked like loss instead of continuity. Sometimes I wonder how many versions of me are still wandering through old moments. The one waiting for a phone call that eventually came. The one afraid of a future that never happened. The one convinced he had more time than he did. Perhaps they're all still there, occupying corners of history, like books left open mid-sentence. The years never said goodbye, yet they never truly vanished either. They remain in habits I didn't choose, in phrases I inherited, in the way certain songs still alter the weather inside me. The years never said goodbye. They're stitched into everything. The wrinkles around a smile, the caution behind the promise, the gratitude hidden inside survival. They left no farewell letter, no final conversation, no closing scene, only evidence scattered everywhere. And maybe that's why I still feel them sometimes. Not behind me, not ahead of me, but quietly living inside the person they became. The cracks arrived before the collapse, small enough to ignore. A postponed phone call, a dream moved to next year. A drawer filled with plans, waiting for the right version of ourselves to return and finish them. We thought life would pause until we figured things out, but the calendar never negotiated. It kept tearing itself loose, one corner at a time, while we stood there trying to understand the instructions. Nobody hands you a map for becoming someone else and calling it survival, but we kept living anyway, through unanswered questions, through half-built futures, through mornings that felt borrowed from people we used to be. We kept living anyway. Carrying grief in reusable bags, paying bills beside heartbreak, laughing at dinner tables while entire chapters smoldered underneath. The world didn't stop, and somehow neither did we. The friend who disappeared became a habit. The love that ended became a comparison. The failure became a story we learned to tell without looking away. Even our regrets change shape. The things that once kept us awake now sit quietly on shelves like books we stopped reading but never threw away. It's strange how the human heart adapts, not by forgetting but by rearranging the furniture around what hurts. We never conquered the darkness, we just learned where to place the lambs. And we kept living anyway, through years that arrived uninvited, through expectations that outgrew reality, through mirrors introducing unfamiliar faces. Every season took something, every season gave something back. We kept living anyway, not gracefully, not heroically, not with the certainty we imagine, just stubbornly enough to see another sunrise. I used to believe resilience would feel powerful, like standing on a mountain declaring victory. But resilience is quieter than that. It's answering emails after receiving bad news. It's buying groceries while carrying invisible losses. It's watering plants in a house full of unanswered questions. It's making coffee for a future you haven't fully forgiven yet. And still, we kept living anyway. The dream changed, the people changed, the definitions changed, even the person speaking these words changed. But something remained, a small unremarkable courage, refusing to clock out. We kept living anyway. Through departures, through disappointments, through all the versions of life that never matched the brochure. And somehow the ordinary act of continuing became its own kind of miracle. Not because everything healed, not because everything made sense, not because we found the answer, but because after all this time, after all the leaving, after all the changing, after all the years that never said goodbye, we were still here, and we kept living